The debris hut. If you are lost right now and the temperature is dropping, this is the one you build. It is not pretty, it is not comfortable, but it will trap your body heat and keep you alive. You find a long, sturdy ridgepole about 8 feet long made from a fallen branch. Prop one end on 2 poles crossed in an X shape, no higher than your waist. Leave the other end resting on the ground. Now take sticks and lean them against both sides like ribs, leaving one tiny opening at the high end, just big enough to crawl into. Pile every dry leaf, pine needle, and forest debris you can find on top. You want thickness, 18 inches minimum. That is your insulation. If daylight pokes through anywhere, add more. Then add more again. When you crawl inside, your own body becomes the furnace. No fire needed. A single candle can raise the interior temperature several degrees. The debris layer traps that heat and refuses to let it escape. The first time you sleep in one, you will hate it. Leaves will poke you. Things will rustle. The second time, you will realize it just saved your life. This shelter is an emergency cocoon built entirely from the forest floor. A well-built debris hut can keep you alive in temperatures that would otherwise kill you before sunrise. That is not exaggeration. That is insulation doing its only job. Hey, if you're enjoying the content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like as well. We're in this together. The lean-to. It looks like half a tent and takes 30 minutes to build if your hands are not shaking. It is a single angled wall facing away from the wind. You lash a horizontal pole between 2 trees at hip height, then lay long poles from the ground up to that crossbar, forming a slanted roof. Cover that frame with bark slabs, thick evergreen boughs, or a tarp if you actually listen to your survival instructor. Now here is the trick nobody tells you. You build a long fire in front, parallel to the opening, not a campfire circle. The heat rolls into your shelter like a wave. You can actually feel the warmth bounce off the angled roof and blanket you. Build a reflector wall on the far side using logs or stacked rocks. That pushes escaping heat right back toward you. Double the warmth. Same fire. The slanted roof does the rest. Hot air curls downward onto your body. It is geometry saving your life, not gear. It is not a sealed shelter. It is an open-face heat trap. If you have a tarp, this is the fastest shelter you can make. If you do not, you will learn exactly how many spruce boughs it takes to make one wall. The number is always more than you think. When the gaps are finally filled and the fire is crackling, you sit against that crossbar and realize you just built a house. A slanted, messy house with no mortgage and no front door. In that moment, the woods feel less like a threat and more like a hardware store. The trench shelter. If the snow is hip deep and you have no tarp, no knife, and no time, get low. You dig a trench slightly longer than your body and wider than your shoulders. Go down until you hit actual ground, frozen dirt or pine needles. Now you have a cold coffin with no lid. The lid matters. Lay sturdy branches, ski poles, or trekking poles across the top. Cover that frame with evergreen boughs, then pile loose snow on top. Pack it gently. Leave one end open as your entrance, angled downward so cold air drains out. Climb in feet first. Pull your pack or a bundle of boughs over the opening. The snow above you is your roof. It blocks wind completely. The earth below you, even frozen, is warmer than the air outside. Your body heat fills the small space quickly. A candle inside raises it further. The temperature difference can hit 30 degrees. That is the gap between shivering and sleeping. This is not a shelter for weeks. It is for tonight. If the wind howls above your snow lid while you lie silent and warm in your trench, you will understand why burrowing is the oldest survival trick on the planet. Animals knew. Now you know. The Wicayup. This one predates every tent ever stitched. Indigenous peoples across North America used it for thousands of years. It is a cone-shaped frame of long, flexible poles, saplings bent and tied at the top with bark cord or paracord. The base is a rough circle, maybe 7 feet across. You weave smaller branches horizontally through the poles to create a lattice. Then you layer the outside with whatever the land gives you. Bark sheets, grass bundles, brush, even slabs of moss. Start from the bottom and work upward, like shingling a roof, so rain cascades down and never inside. Leave a smoke hole at the peak. You can build a small fire right in the center. The smoke rises naturally, drawing fresh air in through the doorway. It is a ventilated, fire-heated, wind-proof capsule built with 0 nails, 0 plastic, and 0 excuses. When you stand back and look at it, you realize ancient humans were not struggling to survive. They were thriving. You are the one struggling because you forgot how to stack grass properly. That is a little embarrassing. The tarp burrito. This is not a shelter. This is a cocoon of desperation. You have exactly 1 tarp and the wind is peeling your morale apart. You lay the tarp flat, pile dry leaves or a sleeping pad on one half, lie down, then fold the other half over yourself like a cold, loud, crinkly blanket. You tuck the edges underneath your body as much as possible. This seals you inside. It will not stop a bear. It will not impress anyone on YouTube, but it will trap your body heat in a microclimate inches from your skin. It traps your body heat in a small pocket of warm air around you, making a surprising difference on a cold night. That is the gap between shivering uncontrollably and actually sleeping. If it rains, angle yourself so water does not pool under your back. If the wind is gusting, pile rocks along the edges. You are not building a house. You are buying time until sunrise. Sometimes that is the only assignment nature gives you. Pass the night. Do not die. Graduate at dawn. The igloo. Most people think the igloo is a snow house. It is not. It is a cold trap engineered with physics that most modern architects would fail to replicate using power tools. You cut blocks from hard-packed, wind-drifted snow. Not the fluffy stuff, the dense stuff you can stand on without collapsing the crust. You arrange the blocks in a spiraling circle that rises inward until the final block, the key block, locks the entire dome in compression. Every block leans slightly inward. Weight transfers laterally, not downward. The structure is essentially a self-supporting arch. You seal the gaps with loose snow. You raise the sleeping platform higher than the entrance. Now physics does the work. Warm air rises and stays up where you sleep. Cold air sinks and pools by the low entrance. The result is a silent, windproof, 40-degree warmer space than the outside air. You can build one in 2 hours with a snow knife and basic instruction. The first time you stand inside your own igloo, the silence is strange. No poles, no beams, no frame, just interlocking snow blocks holding themselves in place through compression alone. It should feel fragile. It does not. The dome distributes every ounce of weight evenly down to the ground. That elegant geometry has been keeping Arctic peoples alive for millennia. A structure built with nothing but a snow knife and physics that ancient builders understood through instinct, not textbooks. The underground shelter. This is the one you build when you have time, tools, and the honest belief that nobody is coming to rescue you tomorrow. You locate well-drained soil, slightly elevated, so rain does not funnel into your grave. Because if you build this wrong, that is what it becomes. You dig down about 3 feet, wider than your shoulders, longer than your body. You line the floor with dry grass, leaves, a foam pad, whatever cushion you can scavenge. You create a roof frame from sturdy logs laid across the trench, then cover them with smaller branches, then a layer of vegetation, then 6 inches of soil. You leave one small entry at one end, angled or with a small tunnel. The thermal mass of the earth stabilizes the temperature. In the summer it stays cool. In the winter it holds heat. It is virtually invisible from a distance. Animals will walk right over you. Rain will sheet off the roof if your slope is right. When you crawl in at night and pull a bark slab over the entrance, you will feel something strange. Silence. Real silence. The earth blocks sound, wind, and the psychological noise of being exposed. You are not hiding from the elements. You are borrowing the planet's own insulation, and it has plenty to lend. If you made it this far and still haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe now so you don't miss the new videos coming up, and drop a comment below. Which shelter surprised you the most? Which one would you actually trust in a real emergency? See you in the next video.